believe, top 3 in the World 8-Ball Championship in Puerto Rico. Or it might have been the 10-Ball Open, but either way, he's on top of the game. Good match.
Yeah, this will be a battle. I think Tobias will be full of confidence after his, like you said, winning in the straight pool. And this will be one to watch closely.
Yeah, so dry break. In the 8-ball, they are allowed to break from anywhere in the break box, in the kitchen, excuse me. So there's no break box involved. So you would say the break in general is a little bit easier than in the 10-ball division. So usually it's more of a break and run contest, unless the balls get a little bit scrappy. As you can see, the 8-10-2 could be causing quite some problems. He went for the solids, which might be tough. I mean, he's played a good shot there to open up the 2-ball, because that was definitely causing him some headache.
Yeah, I think it's good to get your problems. Sorry, just saying, it's good to get your problems out the way early, Tim, right? In 8-ball, try to make the table as open as possible to focus on the run out.
Yeah, for sure. And now he has a great chance to either get on the 6 or the 1. I think I would go forward to take the 1 out, but he opted to keep it more simple, probably. I mean, can float the 4 in, 6 in the corner, go from 1 to 2, and the 8 goes go to the bottom right. So especially in 8-ball, it's a little bit slower. Player usually favors the game. I mean, because they're more stable, they take more care of the cue ball, better shapes. But don't forget, we do have the shot clock on here.
Yeah, that's right, 35 seconds per shot, with a 25-second extension for each player per rack. And from the break off, they do have a 60 seconds starting shot clock, which makes a bit of sense, Tim. Gives them a little bit of time to assess the rack and see what's going on. It's pretty common to have an extended shot clock at the beginning of the breaks.
Well, especially we both know that in any game you can break the balls. You can even break them well and make 2-3 balls, and it still can land very scrappy. There's no control on that, so definitely gives the players at least an opportunity to figure it out. Don't think 25 or 30 seconds is enough to do that all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think, like you said, you got rid of that problem pretty quickly, and this 2-ball was in quite a good spot actually to line up nice for the 8, which does go through the gap for a nice break and run here from Tobias. So as you said, Tim, I think this will be it's all about the break 8-ball very, very heavily. So break and runs are going to be very common during this 8-ball discipline.
Yeah, definitely a good showing. Not too sure if it was a break run. I actually think it was a dry break, possibly from MACIOL, but still, Tobias had the first opportunity and definitely took it. And I'm assuming they racked their own, so he's about to break the balls for a possible early lead, basically, in a race to 8. Alternate break. We are not playing any funny rules like take what you make or the 8 in the opposite. Those are not the official WPA rules.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. My apologies. It was not a break and run, but a reverse clearance, if you like. You will see a bit of both of that. I think it just goes to show how important it is to make a ball on the break. It is in any discipline, but in 8-ball especially. If you don't make a ball, then controlling 8-ball is so critical.
Well, they say the one that breaks the balls the best in 8-ball is most likely to win the tournament. I mean, depends. If you're going to miss a lot of balls next to it, then no. But if you find a way to make balls, then the game is going to be so much easier. But interesting. Also a dry break for Tobias here. So basically returning the favor to MACIOL. Still needs to run out, but at least has a visit to the table.
Yeah, and Daniel will be looking to make improvements on his recent showing in the last 2 disciplines. He went out in the last 16 in the 10-ball to Echeverria. How do you pronounce that, Tim, from Spain? Maybe I'm saying it incorrectly. You can correct me. And then he lost in
yeah.
Echeverria.
Echeverria,
yeah. And then he lost in the last 32 to Nicolas Ernst from Switzerland. So he'll be looking to go a little bit deeper, and I think 8-ball is a good game for Daniel. As you said, he went really deep in some of the big tournaments, so he's definitely a danger in this event.
Well, like I mentioned before too, is that most of the Polish, like in Germany, they're very similar at the moment, as in there's so many good players. There is a league where they play all disciplines. They have like a bunch of national championships and stuff, where they do actually compete in straight pool, in 8-ball, in rotation games. So basically whatever kind of game they play in this European Championship, most of the Polish players will be a contender to win the tournament. And the same for the German.
Yeah, good call. There's just so many strong players in this day, and I think what you said is really important. Probably a true statement. It will all come down to the break. Sounds a bit cliche, but in 8-ball it's so critical. And as you can see here, another dry break and another reverse clearance. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. It's one visit pool at the moment, if you can put it that way, taking the break aside, which is what we expect at this level when the balls are open.
Yeah, so 1 each. 2 dry breaks, but 2 runouts. So no balls being missed so far, like you said. And the only thing that was interesting I found is that Bongers, he actually did have a quite square hit on the break. I felt like the cue ball wasn't too much off, but if you looked at the 2 balls tracking to the side, they were not really, like one was going a little bit higher than the other, so I'm not too sure. Maybe they put some spin on the break, or not too sure what actually caused it. Let's see, he's trying to make either the 9 or the 11 in the side. The 3 and the 14 on the point have a chance to go 4 rails. And then there's the 6 and the 12, I believe, that can bank in the top corners.
Yeah, good call. I noticed that as well. You're a little bit low to the middles again this time.
Yeah, but if you also look at the cue ball, Graham, just barely got past the side. So quite some overcut. And the balls didn't really get much speed, or not enough speed to go high enough to make it to the center.
Yeah, so just settling in, I think, on the break, try to find that sweet spot, like you said, and once they find what works, you just try to rinse and repeat as much as often. But yeah, I think stripes are looking to be the ball. That 10 ball needs a little bit of attention, but it's not in a terrible position. How would you manufacture yourself to get over there, Tim? How would you see it from here?
Yeah, let me have a quick look at the table exactly, because it's a good shout. You might be able to get from the 15 into the 10, like in between, but not a big fan. I might actually try to go from the 11 right now. Like, take a small gamble, you have the 14 near, so try to draw yourself into the 10, or like something similar. You could leave yourself a thin cut on the 10 ball as well. Oh, he's made things worse. That was the risk, though. I mean, there's a chance that you were going to tie up the 10, but you had to try it once. If you get plumb on the 10, this was almost guaranteed to be cleared.
Yeah, he still has a second chance, though, from the 11. Like you said, he could play this one up the long rail, then maybe the one in the side to leave an angle. He's obviously just trying to go into it, a bit risky.
Well, I did really like this, as he always had the 11 ball right after, and I think the 10 ball popped out just enough to where it still cuts.
If so, then it's a pretty good shot, so he does have an option. He might want to get rid of it as soon as he can. I'm not sure if it's convenient to play that as his last ball, but he has got a bit of an angle if he wants to do something here.
Well, one interesting thing that's going to happen too is the fact that the 8 only goes to the bottom right corner, but there's no way you're going to be so flat or so straight on the 10. So that's why he's taking the 10 out first instead of keeping it till the end. But we'll still have to cross over from the stripe on the other long rail to the left side of the 8. But we'll have to be fine. I think if he plays the 15 and gets near the center of the table, maybe a little shorter, a couple balls shorter, then would be decent to cross over to the 8, but he's playing it the other way around. Still similar angle on the 15 needed.
Yeah, he could have went both ways there, I think. As long as he landed, like you say, a pretty good angle in the middle of the table. He just have a pretty good angle to go across to the 8 ball here. So again, pretty solid stuff so far. Nicely done. Two, 1. There we go. So it's very clear cut at the moment. One chance pool. Problems getting solved very quickly. And already Tobias has a 2-1 lead. Just to give you guys some information on, we are running 2 tables. There is a streaming table going on as we speak on table 2, where we have Max Lechner against Kaspar Matikainen, and they're currently locked on table 2. If you want to watch that one, or you can stay with Tim and myself, we do have Mark and Gethin doing commentary on table 2 as well, so choose what you prefer. Great matches this morning, Tim, to kick off on both tables, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you consider the fact, I just figured out why Albin wasn't playing earlier, Albin Ushan. But he was in Indonesia for exhibition, so he flew in late together with Max Lechner. So that's 2 other top players that are, well, definitely contenders to win the title. So the more we get to the finish line, the more players actually start to show up.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone's really happy that Albin and Max made the tournament, made the championships. But Lechner's 2-1 up at the moment on Kaspar, so very similar to this match. Nothing much in it at the moment.
Well, another dry break.
Yeah, it's interesting. You say it, Tim, you'd think with the brand new tables, they're still playing relatively okay at the moment. Yesterday we were doing the 10 ball and the balls were just flying in on quite some matches that I watched. And obviously with the 8 ball you would think you have more chance to pot a ball or more balls disappear, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, and the similar thing, like I said earlier, I think Bongers actually hit it quite square. And you can see on the layout too, it's not becoming a very scrappy layout because they are at least hitting it full enough to where it doesn't push all the balls to one side, but they need some big changes on that. The one that finds out to break is now suddenly having a big advantage in this match. Like we said earlier, the break is so important. It's showing right here in the score.
Yeah, exactly. I think what is interesting though, Tim, is if these guys can find a ball on the break, it's going to be the same scenario, because it looks like they're potting and judging their patterns very well. No time at all. Daniel is just picking up these pieces, and this match is teeing up to be a very close affair potentially.
Yeah, so levels the score 2 each. No breaker runs yet.
Yeah, I think that's only
the fact that Bongers ran out the last game was kind of crazy if you consider how bad the 10 ball was positioned, and then it got worse and he still got out. That is quite impressive actually if you think about it afterwards. I might be just a rack too late to realize, but just so used to them running out.
Yeah,
but we'll have to find something on the break here.
Yeah, sorry Tim, I was just saying that's the level of today, right? We expect players to break and run even if there is problems and balls not able to be potted. They always seem to find a way to fix those problems as soon as possible. The defense is there's a ball eventually in the side and in the top, so first ball down. This will be interesting to see if anything presents itself. How's this table looking for you, Tim? There's a few clusters there, I think.
Yeah, as you can see, the 2 ball doesn't pass to the corner and it's difficult to get to the 1. The 1 might just barely go. And then the 11 ball is tied up as well, so if you go for the solids, you have no solid nearby the 1-2 to develop. And if you go for stripes, you have a better chance to get to the 11 ball. But the opening shot might be a little tough, and there's 2 balls in the bottom that are also not too available.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you have to take a more difficult opening shot to give yourself the best chance. I'm half wondering if that 1 ball does go in the bottom right from a certain angle. He's taking stripes anyway, but this looks like a great shot that he's found a gap there, Tim. I don't think he can avoid the solids, so he's going to probably have to... Not sure if he can... Yeah, I think he might be able to just avoid them. But either way, that 9 ball will... He's taking it now. Oh, the 1 did go. As long as, you know, as in this rule, as long as you put your ball, if your opponent ball goes in, that's also fine. But now it's wide open.
Yeah, so will still be tricky. I believe if he can get close to straight on the 13, he can play for the 12 and go 2 rails for the 11 in the same corner. I mean, it's not ideal stuff, like it's definitely things that could go wrong.
Yeah, but he has some options, I think. Like you're saying, if he lands straight on that 11, that's fine. Also the stripe at the top right, that is a ball to go around 2 cushions if he doesn't land perfect, but he does have a few options here. I think this is the right shot to definitely take this one now. And then
yeah, he definitely had to take that. I might like to play the 12 and run into the 6. Like, I mean, because you're most likely to have the 13 and the 11 ball would be open as well, and you could end up on the 11. But that's what I'm saying. Like, some players, they like to bump the balls here and there, and then some of them, they play the game real clean. I think he might have a little bit more cut on his 11.
The angle's pretty good, I think, to come down. Yeah, it's an interesting comment you made there, Tim. It's in some players like to open balls, but then dangerous things can happen and bad things can happen when you're bumping balls. This is the thing with 8-ball, Tim, right? There's so many different options and so many different patterns. Player preference is a big part of that, but yeah, there's just so many different ways you can go generally.
Well, one thing is for sure, he found something on the break and run, and a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, I think Tobias will be hoping to do the same, see if he can get a break going. But it'd be interesting. So you think now, obviously, with Daniel, what the break that he did in this last one, he will be trying to do the same thing again. Do you think Tobias will change the break up, or will he continue what he's been doing since the start?
No, I would definitely like to switch up something. Maybe try to copy MACIOL's last break or MACIOL's last cue ball position, for example. Like, you don't have that much time. It's only a race to 8 and alternate break, so if you have like 2-3 dry breaks, then you could easily be down 4-0, 6-0. So in this case that's not possible, but I'm saying game wise. So let's see, probably he's gonna play a little firmer here. Yeah, more hard on the break, nice break, good cue ball.
This looks pretty good at first glance, Tim. Balls seem to be separated quite nice. A few solids down the top, down the bottom of the table, stripes at the top, but
yeah, still there is always problems in a rack of 8-ball. Like, it doesn't really always open up to where it's easy. Like, if you can see, the 8 might not go to the bottom left, bottom right. That's the first thing I usually look at, like, what do I plan on the 8? Now, if you go for the solids, that would mean you would open up the 8 automatically. If you go for the stripes, you need a good shot to get to the 8-ball. So definitely, if you look at the beginning of the rack for him, the first 3-4 balls, they're quite easy. He opened up the 11 ball nicely there, because the 11 was tough to get to as well. But it's all gonna come down to how he gets on the 8-ball, Graham.
yeah, I think you're right. He already knew that in his mind, so he's thinking probably, I'm guessing with that striped down table, to find a path to get on the black ball. Of course it does go in the top pockets some way in shape or form. Do you think you'll try to disturb the black, Tim, or do you think you'll probably more just try to land on it position wise?
I am assuming that he's gonna play 14-10, 2 rails around the 11, try to draw straight down for the 15, to where he has like a really small angle to drop underneath and play the 8, either in the left center or top left corner pocket. I think that's the easiest. I don't think from the 15, what are you going to disturb? You might run into, like, you have to run into the 5, and that's really not going to develop the 8 more. So, and you don't have really, you don't have any more balls nearby the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Even if he did cannon into the 5, unless he tries to open it now and draw into the 5, into the 8, but that's a bit risky. He might be playing that now just to bump the 8-ball out, but I don't think that's the wise option, because then you might have no options left.
Yeah, I definitely stay away from running into the balls when I don't have too many backup options after, unless you still have that one cluster you need to open. But in this case, it's not like the 8 doesn't go anywhere. It's more about getting on that 8.
Can you just drop this in dead weight? Play the 8 in the top?
I think so.
A bit pacey maybe?
Slightly off angle. Would have been nice to be straight, of course, but has a shot here. Would be a good return after the first break run of the match for MACIOL, just the previous rack.
Yeah. Would you say this is the first real tester in the match? Because everything's been pretty straightforward, really. This is the first probably big moment. He's missed it.
Ooh.
It's a bit wide, but yeah, pace was good, angle was good, but as you said, return, break and run 3-3, so maybe we get a bit of momentum on the break here. That was a nice finish, really, considering the position of those stripes, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's what I'm saying. Most of the people, whenever they see someone make a ball in the break, they say, oh, you know, this is easy, it should be a run out. But if you looked at all the little details he did to get to the finish line there, I would say it really wasn't laying that easy, even though all the balls were open.
Yeah, exactly, but he was definitely committed to leaving that ball at the end, and he already had that in his mind to get on the 8 ball in the top clearly, and he executed it pretty well. It was a good 8 ball, a little bit wide, but look, the ball went in. He's got one in the side again. Oh, how's that 4 ball stayed out, Tim? Goodness. Wow, that's incredible. It hit both points and just stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, that is the risk on this 8 ball break. I mean, we all know how easy or how simple it can be to make the balls in the side, but with the additional pressure or knowing that the break is starting to be more important, it's not easy to duplicate the same stroke over and over.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is one of the first breaks where both balls are kind of probably okay, because even though there's a solid tied up down there with the stripes, there is a few balls to open that up. But I'm wondering if that top stripe above the solid is potable, so he can pot that one and open the other one at the same time, saving that one over the pocket as kind of a backup ball. Yeah, just clearing the top of the table and then coming down to get the work done. Yeah, I think you probably play this 12 and then down to the 9 ball, Tim, or maybe try to get down all the way to leave an angle to open this little cluster up.
Well, you might do it now. I mean, there's the 14 nearby. Well, the 13 does go, so if he plays a 13 here, softly bumps the 15, he's guaranteed to be on the 14. So this is a way better option than going into them in the previous shot.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Play down for this one, open them up. Safety ball at the bottom there. Oh, has he overcut it? Oof.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if the 13 really went. Like, sometimes it could look a little bit off, so I said, if it doesn't go, why not go into him straight away? But all good.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the rack he looked at it early on, I think, so I think again he had already made his mind up how he was going to tackle this problem. And again, I have to say, Tobias is picking these problems out pretty comfortably.
Well, what most of the people don't realize is that Tobias Bongers is like a 300 ball runner in straight pool. Like, he knows what to do with the cue ball, and he knows about solving the problems, picking those balls that are annoying. So yeah, I mean, listen, we all feel the pressure and we all struggle at times, so obviously it's not always going to play like that, but playing 8 ball, then again, he's a German, plays all games, plays a good straight pool, so you would expect him to play decent patterns, and so far he's been playing very clean patterns.
Yeah, in fairness, they both have. It's just about who gets the opportunities in the end, Tim, and I think, yeah, I'm not going to jinx it, but there hasn't been a ball missed yet, so the score probably reflects pretty good. If it's a dry break, it's a reverse clearance. If it's a ball down, it's a run out, right? That's the level that we're at right now.
Yeah, so 4-3 it is for the German. Stealing that rack basically after the break from MACIOL, and has a chance here to maybe extend that lead to 2 games.
Yeah, he'll be looking to see what he can do, but just while we're looking there, this arena, as you can see, there's what a fantastic setup from the team, Predator team, the production team, everybody involved in this arena. 28 tables in this venue. Matches are running all throughout the day. Mix of disciplines across the men's, women's, youth, juniors and wheelchair events will be all in action over these next few days. Plenty of pool left. We still have the 10-ball finals to come later today, and then also we have the 9-ball still to kick off in the next day or so. So plenty of action, Tim. But back here, Tobias hopefully looking to get another break and run here and get something moving.
Well, don't forget, there is one more event actually. Well, 2 more events actually, because there's the teams event and the Euro Tour following after this European Championship. So,
yes,
wow, he's found a spot.
Yeah, it's a good break. Yes, the teams, missed the teams, my apologies. Teams is also running. And then, yeah, obviously Euro Tour coming on the back of that. 2 weeks of pool. Very, very good stuff. And the Euro Tour is in Estonia, in the same venue, in the same location, so that's also quite handy.
Oh, this layout is looking really good too. Now, there's always, like I said, there's always a ball here and there that is a little bit tougher to get to. So let's see what that ball could be. Maybe angle-wise to get something after the 9. Like if he can make the 9, he will have angle on the 11. So what about he shoots the 9 now and stunts from the 14 to the left to the 12, I feel. Yeah, I like that. That's clever. That way he doesn't really have to bother running into the 3 or trying to play a precise shape. It's guaranteed to have angle.
Yeah, I like that too. The less amount of times you have to bump into balls, the better it can be. I think that's the terminology used. A clean run out is always more advantageous. Otherwise, anything can happen, as you know, when you're bumping balls. So try to avoid it at all costs, unless it's absolutely necessary. But again, everything looks pretty good now. Get rid of these 2 balls on the right side, maybe. You can leave that one on the rail for the end. I think the black goes past the red as well, 3 in the middle, so he's got a few options on how he wants to take these out.
Yeah, I'm saying I would make the 13 and then from the 11 go to the 12, because the 13 kinda brings you straight on the 11. But now again he has a good angle on the 15 to do the same thing, go 1 rail towards the 11.
Yeah, I kind of like leaving the one on the stripe on the rail, the long rail for the end. I think that makes sense given where that, like you said, that 11 ball is. Just to run through with the black ball waiting, a little bit of a draw stroke on that one, and yeah, this is top quality stuff, Tim, we're having here for the morning matches.
Yeah, I would say MACIOL in trouble after that dry break, hanging up a couple balls. I mean, I've seen crazy matches in the last years at the European Championships, in 8-ball especially, just because... Oh, this is interesting. He's probably stunning over to play the 8 in the left center. Just because the break has been so crucial. Like, I've seen matches where there were like 7, 8 breaker runs each, like 6, 7, 8. It's crazy. I lost one match with Ronald Regley. I think I had 6 and he had 7. Like, whenever you start finding that break, you have to clear basically.
Yeah, it's coming down to the lag in the end, Tim. This is the kind of level that we're getting at. If you can find a break, crazy level standard. I mean, 6 and 7. That's just brutal. How did you feel after that one?
Well, I did have a chance to tie it 7 each, and I failed to do so. So it was my own mistake. But yeah, it just shows that even though you play at a certain level, that you're not guaranteed to win. One mistake could be enough on this level. And imagine that match, we were both breaking and making balls. Imagine every time you start off with a dry break, that counts as a mistake too. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
A dry break is like similar to giving your opponent ball in hand right after. Like, it's the same thing in 8-ball.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, Tim. You're right. I think pretty good white. Oh, he didn't get one on the side though. Is he going to get the 4 railer to save the day? Ooh, wow. And the solids are looking pretty okay as well. Stripes also have an option, but I think solids are the ones here. Tim, at first glance, looks pretty good. Options wise, anyway.
Yeah, the only thing that could be tricky is the fact that he might have to start with the 7-ball. Unless he takes the 1-ball first. I don't mind that. I was gonna say, if he takes the 7 first, he still needs to get up table to do something with the 1. So he's taking care of that. He's shooting the 1-ball first, so he can play all the solids in the bottom side of the table. Well,
bit short though there, maybe.
Land a little bit funny. Has to play. If he catches a full bump on the 4, he should be fine. But doesn't want to put the balls together. Well,
does he have the side? Does he have the side option as a safety ball? I'm not sure if he can get through. Yes, he can. Combo maybe.
Yeah. Did land a little bit funny again, but at least the 4-ball is still in the open. Like, if he had tied the 4 and the 9-ball, the 4 and the 14 together, then his run out percentages would drop extremely low. So combination here.
That was a pretty good shot, really. Still a bit of work to do though, where that ball is at the top, but they're all in the open and the black ball is right in the center of the table, which is quite nice because then it gives you a lot more options from whichever ball you want to leave till the end.
Yeah, if he can stay on the high side of the 4. I'm not too sure with this angle. Still has to get above the 10. And then he can go 2 rails forward and leave himself exactly there. Because if you leave yourself that kind of angle, whenever you make the 5, you're guaranteed on the 8. So not too much cue ball work, more natural shape.
Play this maybe pocket speed, Tim. Could play the 8 in the same corner if he wants, but he's okay to hold it in the side. I think just yeah, slightly overcut, but all fine. Weathered the storm there. Yeah, and that 4 railer was the saving day there because it was almost a dry break, but it dropped, and then we have another run. So 5-4, hanging onto the coattails of Bongers. Here he is. So, but like you said last time when Tobias broke, you felt he had found a spot, so see if he can replicate that again and find another ball. He's playing very solid. They both are, to be fair.
Well, imagine if that 4-railer didn't drop for MACIOL. So he kind of got away there, still making something on the break, and things weren't looking too great at some point, but made it happen. If I were Tobias, I would feel like, I'm solid, basically just stay patient and wait for a mistake from MACIOL's side, because I think overall Bongers has been more solid this match.
Yeah, I agree. Seems to have had less problems. Everything seems to have been pretty much as he expected, even when he had to open something. He did it with ease. So we'd be looking for another good solid break here. Cue ball centre of the table. Try and find a couple of balls. Even one. Oh, we nearly lost the white, Tim.
Well, still managed to make the ball on the side, but that was awful close to scratch. I mean, nonetheless, cue balls at the table made a ball. Overall, no clusters. It's a little bit messy, but no clusters, so has a chance to extend the lead again to 6-4. I think I do like the stripes. Float the 12 in, play the 13 in the top left. As the 13 is not too easy to play right now, cue ball will run into the 7.
Yeah, I like that option. See if you can try and get rid of it without any disturbing of those solid balls, but is he going forward here? He's trying to go round.
Okay, that's interesting. Felt like it was tougher to get on either the 11 or the 10, so chose to go there now.
Yeah, I guess if you can land straight on that 13 or get a pretty straight angle, he could draw down the table for either one of the two stripes at the bottom of the table. So maybe he's taking this one and the 10 now, and then the 13 is going into the 5. Interesting. Sounds a bit risky, that was, I felt, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think he might have been trying to just get to the 13. Can't imagine he was trying to play the bump, but if he cuts the 10, could land for the 13 in the same corner if he can hold it. If he can't, still, he might have to play the 13 to the corner and do more with the cue ball. A little shaky there, as you could see, just slightly. It was so tough to hold the cue ball there.
Yeah, I think York's also overcut it just ever so slightly. It was only fine margins, but that also made it run a little bit faster as well. So he's got a little bit of thinking to do here. Not sure if he can play the 13 now and get the cue ball out of that traffic somewhere in the middle of the table. He's definitely going to cannon into this 7 ball, I think, Tim. I don't think he can avoid it.
I'm just trying to see if he can, like, if I can take something from the things he's looking at, but he's now not playing the 13.
Is he going 3 reels here to get on the 13 maybe? No, surely not.
I don't think he can. He needs to find the window.
Oh, he was trying, you know.
I mean, actually, the little flick of the 2 wasn't too horrible. The only thing I feel here, if you play with top left, you might be in big trouble after. You could find the cue ball into the 1, you could find the 7 again. If you play with draw, I think you might stick the cue ball where the 7 is. I don't think you can get the cue ball out.
Maybe he's just missing it. No, he's played it off the 7. It's not a bad result, Tim. That's a good shot.
Off the 7, off the 4, and shape on the 15. It's not out of the woods yet. Still one bigger shot here, bigger stroke to get back to the left side of the 8.
Yeah, stunning down for the 8 on the side might be not a bad option. You might have to put a bit of a stroke on it, like you say. Played it well though. Again, managed to solve the problem and get another one on the board, Tim.
Yeah, break a run. As you can see, he knows he was a little bit lucky also on the break. The break and the run out weren't the best, but it's about him getting over the finish line and definitely putting or keeping the pressure on MACIOL.
Sometimes an ugly run out still classes as a run out, Tim. Point is a point. Doesn't matter how you get there sometimes. You just got to get there. And you've done pretty well there. So MACIOL here with a break really needs to continue the trend of breaking and running if he can. Oh, he lost the white.
Ooh.
Oh, gets a lucky ball in it.
Yeah, as you can see, the second that cue ball goes to either side, you see the balls tracking to the side pocket or not there anymore. So fortunate to make a 4 still on the break. And a little cluster with the 1-9. So I'm interested in going for the 14 here, possibly the 7-14 combination, and drawing the cue ball into. Oh, the one, no, 7-14 is a little bit off, I can see now. You need to find a way to open up the 1-9 as soon as possible, and if you go for solids, the 7 doesn't go past the 14 and the 1 is closed up. So I do like the stripes.
Yeah, and having a ball near the side pocket does give you some options to open that 1-9 mix, but he might have to take a rather trickier open. He could take, yeah, he's got a few options. Maybe he takes the 11. Yeah, I like this shot.
Yeah, I don't mind the 15 here. And I think if he can get near the left long rail, possibly off this 10 or 10-12. Oh no, he's going off the 11. I was gonna say could pocket the 14 and go off the short rail into the 1 and always have the 11 as a backup.
Yeah, I like this option just because he has 1 over the pocket. And oh dear.
Oh.
Got lucky there. 9 in the side. We didn't see that one, Tim, but he'll take it.
Yeah, I have to say that was quite the roll. Caught the wrong side of the cluster. But he actually needs that little roll at the moment too, because as you could see throughout the match, the break has been a struggle. That is also causing him to stay within this match. So overall, quite a struggle. I'm quite sure that if you would interview him after this match, he's probably gonna say, well, I didn't play so great, my break wasn't working, I have a lot to work on. That's probably the thing he would say.
Yeah, but I think he's been a bit hard if he did say that on himself, because technically he hasn't missed a ball yet. So the only thing you could argue is maybe the break. But this is what you're going to hear from a lot of players, I think, during the 8 ball, because it will all come down to how successful the break is.
Well, are you really competitive if you're not complaining about the break on an 8 ball tournament? Come on. It's what 8 ball is all about. I mean, unless you're playing like the bar table 8 ball kind of style, then I could understand you probably lost the shape. So then it's probably complaining about the rails or the break. But no, it's a very common, not complaint, but a very common issue. Not making balls on the break and losing the match just because of that.
Yeah, exactly. She just landed a little bit awkward here.
I thought so too. As you can see, he's jacking up. That's the thing. His shot making is great. So even though he lands a little bit funny here and there, he still can manage a lot. Still was important. I mean, one mistake could have been 7-4 and pretty big problem. Now it's only 6-5. Pressure rising. I mean, I know it's the opening match in the 8 ball division, so the loser will have to go through the loser bracket. But it's not like the loser of this match is out, so still opportunities. I also feel like the early matches, players, they go into them a little wilder because they know they have 2 shots at qualifying, and whenever they get to the single elimination, their style changes a little bit. They get a little bit more cautious about things, which is natural, but yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed to play the same way if you do so.
No, exactly. The winner's side is, of course, much more favourable for all players. But the good news is that it is double elimination at the moment. Until the last 64, I believe, Tim. I will actually double check that. It was the last 64 in the 10 ball, so I'm pretty sure it will be the last 64 also. Yeah, last 64.
I kind of felt like this was about to happen because he was hitting the break so square, causing to have good results. And then this is kind of similar to how he was breaking in the beginning of the match. Quite the overcut, the ball's not tracking to the sides, and then now a chance for MACIOL to bring it 6 each and him breaking.
Yeah, and all of a sudden this could turn, this match could turn very quickly, and these balls aren't too bad either. Even the ones down the bottom of the table, they have pockets.
Yeah, there's plenty of availabilities. I just think I believe it was the 12 ball. Yeah, the 12 ball might not go in either corner, so that's why he's looking to go 2 rails to play the 12 in the bottom right. From this view, you see the 12 does go to the bottom right, so he's going directly there. If he gets straight on this, I'm surely expecting him to bring this match 6 each. Could also shoot the 10 first, go up, then play the 12 and the 13, so 3 balls in the same corner.
Yeah, good call. He's taking that now. I'm wondering if the 12 goes in the bottom left. It doesn't go in the bottom left, surely. No, he's playing it now. So yeah, good call, Tim. Be playing these 3 balls in the same pocket and then finishing off with 1 on the side. With the 8 ball waiting.
Yeah, and then just slide draw to get straight on the 15. We're 6 each. We're tied for good opening match of the day. It's very promising for us. We've got plenty more action to come. Hopefully we have a lot more exciting matches like this.
Yeah, it's been interesting stuff so far. Be nice to see a little bit of drama. Not that I want to encourage. I say drama, 6-6 is drama. But it's nice to see how they handle coming to the last couple of racks. Hasn't really been any need for any safety shots. Clearly it's been all break and run or reverse clearances. Do we feel this will continue for the next couple of racks, Tim? What do you think? Will we get a safety break or some kind of, I don't know, something else happening? Or what's your take on these last few racks?
I gotta say, with how the tables are tapped, the balls they rack like near perfect or perfect, you don't really get to see so many safety breaks unless someone really feels like, I can't run out at the moment, let's just make it a struggle. But if you feel like, man, just give me an open chance, I will run out anyways, you gotta go for the run out. Like, you gotta stick to something aggressive.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. He'd be looking to capitalize on that opportunity with the break and run here for himself, get himself on the hill, which maybe a short while ago we didn't think was going to be the case. We thought Tobias was going to be just running. We lost the cue ball a little bit, but he's got 2 in the side. Wow.
Yeah, difference this time is he put actually quite more pop on the cue ball there, so it didn't just track past the side, it popped and then tracked past the side, so the energy on the balls going towards the side was a little bit more. Now, great chance to take the lead here. I mean, he was down basically all match.
I'm wondering if he can disturb that 2 straight away here, possibly, Tim. Got an okay angle, I think, to make a traction towards that little cluster if he wants to. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, looks like he's playing this. Just gotta be careful not to push other balls. Oh. I think he was trying to leave himself angle on the 6 to open up the 2 and have a better possibility of how the balls would spread. He might still have to. Like, he might have to force this. Has to touch the 15 in some way. He's looking at doing that on the 1, but it got tricky. After the first ball he made, things got slightly tricky.
Yeah, and if he does go for it from the 1 ball, if he doesn't get on the 1 ball, then he's running out of options. So I like your shot selection now. It's not ideal, but could he just punch this 6 ball in and just open something? No, he's trying the 1, so he needs to get this right. Yeah, he's played it guaranteed. I think he's tried to leave it. He's gone too low here. Can he flick the top stripe away and still have a shot on the 4? I don't know.
Oh, and he's missed that low clustergram. This could be big trouble. I don't think he can check off the short rail to go into him. Can he play for a possible bank on the 2?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we want a drama. We definitely have it. Yeah, I'm not sure what options he has here, Tim. You can't check it in. Don't think it will bite enough. The bank might be a good call. He's tried. Oh. Well, has he got a cross bank? I don't know if he has. Be a bit of an ambitious one.
Okay.
Don't know if it's possible.
This is the beauty of 8-ball. The 2 off the 15, bank in the side. But he's just playing the regular cross corner. I mean, might be a little easier, but I just wanted to throw my fantasy out.
Well, he's going to have to do something.
Oh, it's not there. Chance for Tobias. Oh, that's the 2-12. No. It's a chance to get on the hill first, and he's breaking. So, like I said, usually in these matches, it's not just only run-out pool. There's always one thing that happens to where it decides who's going to be the winner, yes or no. It's either one not managing to run out, or one scratch on the break, something like that.
Yeah, but this is a great chance for Tobias to get on the hill here, Tim.
Yeah, I would like to go to the 12 as soon as possible. It's not a ball you want to leave till the end. Very difficult to get the cue ball out. For example, to get from the 12 to the 8 is something you definitely wouldn't want to do. So I don't mind if he goes from the 15 to the 13 right now. Like, then get yourself straight on the 12. Make sure you leave the 14 there, so you always have something from the 12 to the 14. Or you could even take the 12 first and then 13, 14, 11. Just stay away from bumping the 2. So you see a little bit tricky layout because he's having to go back and forth quite a bit. He's also making sure that nothing phony happens on this 12. No, did he land straight? Don't think so. I think he's fine to stun over maybe a diamond. Just a little straighter on the 11 will do. He's looking to go 7-6 bongers. Actually didn't expect that after pretty good chance for MACIOL. First real mistake in this match after 12 games. Straight in on the 8. 7-6 for the German. And breaking to continue his road through the winner's side of the bracket. Now, Bongers, his last break wasn't the best break. So it's not a guaranteed that this break will be a match-winning one. Definitely somewhere in the back of his mind he will think about missing that break earlier on. But the best thing he can do is to just focus on the now, the opportunity he has here to get it done, and try your best to produce the best break you can make. I mean, don't dwell too long on the past.
Quick update on the other side, Tim. Max is 7-5 up against Kaspar Matikanen right now, so he is on the hill and closing in on a first round victory there. Whilst we come to the conclusion of this match, huge break here, Tim.
Oh, there's more drama. There's more drama in the tank.
It was meant to be. I think 7-7 was destined. You could just see it going that way, I think. But yeah, huge clearance opportunity now for MACIOL.
I mean, I just don't think he can complain. He put a good energy on it, but the cue ball was tracking towards the long rail straight away. Yeah, then you're kind of playing with fire, and like you said, this would basically make it one mistake each overall throughout the match. If we're not counting the dry breaks in mistake list, this is a really mistake, like MACIOL not running out last game. And still tricky. The 6 ball doesn't go past the 12 in the corner, but also the 9 doesn't go past the red 3 ball in the top left corner. So anyhow, we'll have to bump something to make a run out possible here.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'd be glad just to be at the table with that chance. I have to say, I wasn't expecting a scratch from Tobias, but like you say, the white ball had been thinking about it, so maybe, like you say, it was probably just only a matter of time. But there's a good chance here, even though there's a little bit of work to do.
Let's see, the thing I was wondering, actually, I was considering playing, what did he just play, the 4 on the side, cutting the 7 ball in and running into the 8 or 6, knowing that you have either the 1 or there's another ball on the bottom left, the 1 or the 5 as a backup. The longer he waits to get something on the 6, or does, I mean, the 6 might go in the bottom left. I just didn't think it did. If the 6 does go, then for sure you had to go solids.
Yeah, it's tight from this angle, but it might just go.
Well, then in that case, I like to go 1, 7, 6 and bump the 8 just over a notch. And then you're guaranteed to be on the 5. Tap the 5 in, 8 in the right center. Because the 8 also doesn't go in the bottom right, so it doesn't hurt to give it a small tap. Wow, finesse shot there.
I wonder if he plays the 1 next, Tim, and then plays the 5 ball and goes around the back of the 8 ball. Oh, he's bumped it. Yeah, good call. We have a hill match coming here, Tim, I think.
Yeah, only 2 mistakes overall in the whole match. Like I said, I'm not counting the dry breaks. I mean, a dry break is always possible to happen. It's kind of random at times. But definitely the failed run out last game from MACIOL and the scratch on the break from BONGERS. I do count those. So 2 mistakes in this match and we're tied at 7. 1 game to play.
Yeah.
And we'll find out to see who goes through the winner side of the bracket. Definitely someone's going to be not so happy to draw the loser of this match in the loser bracket.
Yeah, 100%. This is what happens when you have a very exciting, tough first round match. Somebody does have to lose. That is the nature of the game. Yeah, definitely someone you want to avoid. It's been a pretty solid match overall, and probably fair, Tim, that it goes all the way given how they've both played. I think it's probably a fair result. Oh dear. Great cue ball. However, not what he wanted.
Yeah, and first look at the table. Not looking too bad. If he's looking at going the solids, then I would like to get the 1 ball out as soon as possible. So 1 does go in the left center. So if he plays 5, 6, 1 in the left center, leave the 3 ball there. 3 ball is quite available, so it's not a ball I need to get rid of as soon as possible. As you can see, he's trying to get on the 1 as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think if he can move these 3 balls left at the top of the table and get down nice on that 2, then those remaining 2 solid balls next to the 8 ball are just perfect to close the match out. So a little bit of puzzling at the top of the table will be his goal.
Extension.
Yeah, I think he's going a little bit to the short rail on this angle, so I'm not sure if he can get on the 1 here, Tim. Will he have to go forward? Yeah, I think he was looking that way.
Yeah, he's looking to go to the right side of the 12 ball. I think he's got perfect. He might even be able to draw the cue ball away from the 10, like where he's pointing now. So just the shot from the 3 to the 2, speed-wise, is the only thing I could imagining going wrong unless the pressure gets to him.
Yeah, and I think for simplicity, if he can hold for the 2 ball in the bottom left corner, for me that's the best option to minimize cue ball traveling. And then if he can land straight on the 2, Tim, he's got a stop shot pretty much for the match, I would say.
Yeah, great match. Really very entertaining morning, for me at least. Hopefully everybody back home finds this match as entertaining as I do.
Yeah, it's been great. I think it's a shame we say this, but it's a shame somebody has to lose on matches like this when really there hasn't been anything missed. This is the nature of 8 ball, unfortunately. It's always harsh to lose on a dry break, Tim. You would just love to have a chance to win the match, but I guess you could also argue your break is the chance to win the match as well, and if you don't pot a ball, then you pay the price.
Well, I don't think he can only blame the break. Of course, if the break has been a little better, he could have won, but he also had that one run out where he didn't run out. And he is only one game short, so two sides of the coin. The break and one missed run out opportunity. Well, has to shoot the 7 to the corner, so I'm not gonna say that really cost him the match. Let's wait till the 7 drops, but yeah, nice shot there. So definitely some work for MACIOL to do while he's going to run through the loser bracket. Has to work a little on his break. And it is Tobias Bongers who advances.
There we go. Bongers wins 8-7. Tough luck for Daniel there, but there is some positives, but obviously you'll have to regroup and go through the loser side. Tobias moves on to the winner's side. My name's Graham Hickman.